Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry for the hiatus. Sorry for the hiatus. Been busy moving, been busy with job stuff, but I'm back and hopefully gonna start dishing out videos weekly again. So today what we're talking about is rear storage system. This is gonna be a new series I'm gonna start where I'm basically rebuilding my storage system and I'm gonna take you guys along with it. I'm gonna start at the top with planning, preparing, measuring, rendering everything out, and just seeing kind of what I need and what I want. After having the storage system I've had for as long as I've had it, it's so windy. I've learned what I love and I've learned what I don't love. And so I'm going to make some changes so it turns into the best possible system that was built for my truck. So here's a few things you're going to need. Pen and paper, boom. Tape measure, boom. And I'm also going to render this out. I'm just going to use SketchUp. It is a free program. If you want to learn how to use it, you can. I'll put the link to it below, how to get it for free. It's basically just the older version of it. But yeah, you don't need any of that. All you really need is a pen and paper and a tape measure. And we're going to start measuring it up and seeing what we want to do. And I'm going to talk about my process while I'm doing it, so you kind of have an idea of my end game all the way at the beginning of it. Sorry, a bird just flew above my head and it was pretty cool. Alright, let's dive in. Alright guys, so now we're going to talk about the most important part when you're planning out a drawer system, or really any modification to your truck. What do you actually need? Right? I can sit here and I can make a cool cabinet system with a dozen drawers in here, but what if I go camping and nothing I actually want to take fits in it or is organized? It's not the best way to do things. So, breaking it down as simple as possible, what you should do is go out and buy a few bins. It doesn't matter what kind of bins you use. If you want to ball out and get the Wolfpack ones from Front Runner, or some of the, Rome makes some cool boxes, I think it is. I think it's them. Whatever you want to do. For me, I use these $5 Lowe's boxes. And they're great because they're so cheap that I don't really have to think twice about it. When I first was getting this drawer system built the first time, I bought like 6 of them. And I just kind of was playing with organizations, figuring out how many I can actually fit, how tall they are. I built this whole storage system around those boxes, which is a great idea. I recommend doing that. The reason I recommend using boxes is think about when you're getting ready for a trip, right? Packing and the preparation before your trip, it is a process. It doesn't happen instantly. It's a lot easier when you can just bring out one of these boxes, dump it on your kitchen counter, get all the food you need, dump it in there, bring that in there, boom, close it up, you're good to go, right? Rather than keeping just kind of open storage and just having to dump a bunch of stuff in there as you're camping or as you're packing and having to do 7 trips, it's not ideal. However, I'm in a place for drawers, not dedicated to, boxes, or containers, I guess. For example, things like cutlery, things that aren't going in and out of your truck that often. I think it'd be a great idea to have a little tiny mini storage or a little mini drawer to throw some of that stuff in there, maybe even like recovery rope, whatever it is that's dedicated, that doesn't leave the vehicle and you never have to make it leave the vehicle. Those are great. But for the most part, bins, storage boxes are going to be your best friend when it comes to camping and just setting up your storage system. So once you figure all that out, now you have to start measuring. This part's fun, right? So we're going to measure, obviously, width, height, get all that goodness. That makes sense, depth. The things that you don't really think about until you're trying to put stuff together is clearance. So for example, on the GX we have this door, right? This door does not swing up out of the way. It is on this side and still in the way. So when we're making a double stack unit that's going to be, this tall, are we going to have enough clearance if we want to make a door that swings out? What about a door that lifts up? We got to think about all the clearance issues that we might have or might run into. Things like the fridge slides. Are we going to have enough room if it's all the way at the top to come out and clear the actual roof? Those are things you're also going to have to measure and think about and take notes in when you're building this out. So if you want to build a mock, whether it's like cardboard or whatever, or build it virtually, those are things that you're going to really want to focus on and make sure you get right. Okay, so let's get into measuring this thing. Okay, so Once you get all the measurements done, the next step is to go somewhere where it's warm and dry, preferably, like indoors. Draw everything up, whether you're going to use program, render it out, whether you're going to use a pen and paper, whatever it is, visualize it, get it all drawn so you can really see it from there, and that's where you'll make all the final tweaks. Then we'll get into the next part, but let's go ahead and jump to that. Hop in. Alright guys, so the next part of the process is going to be, once you're done measuring everything, the next part is going to be visualizing it. Whether it's you're gonna, get a piece of paper and draw everything out, make a little model, or like if you're nerdy like me, you're gonna go ahead and jump on a computer and render everything out. So I'm gonna go ahead, I went ahead and I did that, it's done. So now, let's go ahead and dive in and let me kind of walk you through my build process and what I'm thinking in my head when why I designed what I designed and its intentions. So yeah, let's go ahead and hop in, and oh yeah, and some cool news at the end. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so here we are. We're looking at it right now. It's very exciting. Don't ignore the fact that there's 15 different things here. I'm going to walk through everything kind of piece by piece. So from the start, I kind of want to explain, I know it's a box and it's pretty straightforward. It has drawers, whatever. But I want to kind of explain why it's this height, why it looks like this, and then so we can dive a little bit deeper in. So this total is 17 inches tall. I did 2 sets of drawers. These 2 down here will be for the boxes. These 2 right here are going to be a little bit smaller. This is going to be for those things I was talking about, kind of the loose stuff that you can kind of just throw in. Things like kinetic rope, recovery gear, things that don't really need to leave the vehicle every time you go on a camping trip. Alright, so that's kind of the basis of it. Right here is where the fridge mount's going to go. Everything's going to be put together by some furniture screws. We'll talk about these kind of after we get the basis of it, all through. Obviously, there's holes right here for the little thumb tabs for my slides, so that just makes sense. It's on most drawers. I might just, instead of doing, this kind of cutout, I might do a circle, like a little hole there. I haven't really figured that out yet. It doesn't matter. This is just a 3D model. It's not completely accurate. So let's dive into the drawers themselves. So starting with the top ones, I have about 4.5, 5 inches of total space in there. It's not a ton, but it's enough for my kinetic rope. It might fit my my stove too, which would be really neat if I can get that to work. But I might upgrade my stove later, so I'm not too sure yet. As of right now, the main point of it really was just to get a little bit more kind of just storage in the truck, because I was missing that. I don't like having loose stuff. So that's the idea there. Nothing really too fancy with these drawers. It's a simple drawer design. With the bigger drawers, it's kind of the same story. Obviously, I have a little bit more, headroom there. I have about 10 inches of total, head clearance there. I created these little organizers that are in there, and I realized there's a gap. But I created these little organizers here, and the point of that is right now I don't have anything kind of stopping this little, the boxes from moving back and forth. So when I hit my brakes or when I'm stopping really hard, they kind of slide around and it sounds like something's hitting the back of my truck every single time, and it's really just annoying. So I created two slots for those, and then back here I might even raise this up a bit. Again, 3D renders are not final. That's the joy of making these. I might raise this up a little bit taller, same with this side on here, just to add some another, whatever I want to throw back there, whether it's propane tanks, recovery gear, just stuff I don't want to have flying around. Same with this it's only about a 2-inch space right here. But I really just wanted a gap there, again, to throw anything, whether it's like my tire iron or whatever it is, I can just kind of throw in this little cubby and not have to worry about it. Okay, but that's really it. So two of these, simple as that. So let's talk about these things. What are these? So I added this little T-track in here, and when I was building it, I kind of wanted to, stack this high, but when I take my dogs with me, usually I'll put the kennel right there. And one time, on the Douglas Creek trip, actually, we hit a few bumps, and the dogs started crying, and they usually don't cry, or they weren't really, they're just barking and making noise, and they're usually pretty quiet when I'm driving. And I looked back, and sure enough, their kennel was like all lopsided, and it just looked like a mess, and I had to jump out and fix them. So in my head, I thought it'd be really cool if I actually had a modular box system in the back. So the base would always be the same because it just makes sense, right? This can always stay in the car. There's really no reason. I still have the room here. I'm used to it. That's fine. But I wanted to add a modular system on top of this to add and remove things and try different configurations out. So let's go ahead and hop over here. So these are my two ideas. So one of the things that I'm always a little bit worried about, luckily I live in a pretty decent place right now, and usually the places I'm visiting are quite remote, so I don't have to worry about this, but theft is scary, right? If I have thousands of dollars in camera gear in the back of my truck, I want to make sure it's secure. So this box system is great, and it looks good, but there's no real security aspect to it. So I'm wanting to make more of these modules. So for example, this module right here is really just a drawer slide, or really just a box with a shelf. Nothing crazy, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure this door right here is lockable, so it'll actually open up and have a lock on it. And that'll be kind of, this is the right size for my Pelican right now, so I can throw my Pelican in there. I can create a little shelving unit in here to hold batteries, lenses, whatever extra crap I want to carry, or even things like my wife's purse when we go hiking. Just more security in the back of the truck I think is a great idea. Really for any aspect. I might even like just on the top mount an actual safe and keep some goodies in there, just to have a safe place in the truck to keep things. So that's kind of the idea here, and then over here is a dog kennel. Again, just 3D render. These are like 1/8 inch slots. I know my dogs in particular, when I'm driving, they get kind of anxious with people. So the less visibility for them, the calmer they are. So I basically, like a kid capturing a lizard in a box, I just wanted to poke holes in it. That's all. It's just for air. They don't really need to see outside. But I'll probably still make these bigger, at least on the door. But it's just kind of an idea. But again, like these just modular systems. So it'll just slide on this T-track right here, and I'll have little mounting points here where I can just kind of screw it in and lock it in from the inside. Just to add, again, a bit more modularity to it. I don't know what else, what other ideas, maybe even a bucket up here or just a basket to hold, bags or whatever. You maybe don't need the box for it. Even maybe more drawers. I have a ton more ideas that I might make for these, and yeah, that'll be pretty sweet. And the game plan is I want to be able to start selling these boxes. So when I make the first one, I'm going to make it, originally I was going to make it kind of special for me, and instead of, screws and everything, I was going to do dowels and just make it look really nice. But then I was kind of thinking for resale, dowels don't make sense. I'm not going to have people install dowels and cut them and trim them and sand them up and finish it. That doesn't make any sense. So I'm probably going to use furniture screws for everything and have it really nice and easy to assemble, because I want to make this process as easy as possible for anyone trying to get into this or needing a drawer system. But also the modular pieces are really neat. I've never seen anything like that, and I just think it's brilliant. I was even thinking maybe even like for all my gun guys out there, like a gun rack in the back, something like a skateboard rack, whatever you want to have back there. The modular design I think could really help, expand the possibilities that are out there for something like a drawer system. So yeah, guys, that's the box. That's the drawer system. I am going to add more things. So I'm going to add side cabinets as well that are going to kind of fit in those side cubbies there. I just haven't modeled that yet because that's the least of my priorities right now. Right now, I really want to focus on this box system and see if I can start making that, see if I can get that kind of dialed in and really the way I want it to be. Same with these modular boxes as well. I'm going to make a few of them, try them out, test them, see how they work. And yeah, guys, that's the game plan. So let's talk about it. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. Again, the whole point of this video was not to show you how to build a drawer system. I'm not there yet. I wanted to show you the preparation and kind of getting in the mindset of what you need out of a drawer system. I don't want anyone to just go out and build a drawer system and go, haha, it has drawers. There's a lot more to that. As I talked about in this video, there's a few things you really want to look out for when you're building a drawer system or you're trying to buy a drawer system. So yeah, that's it, guys. We're gonna start building these things soon, and once we start building them, more videos will come out around that, as well as I'm gonna launch a new website where you'll be able to buy these things. I'm going to make them as simple as possible to assemble, so I'm going to include pretty much everything you need in the box. Should be nice and easy. I should be able to ship these pretty flat. And yeah, so that's exciting, guys. I'm gonna start taking pre-orders for those once I get the first one built, and I can really show a good idea of what they look like, how easy they are to assemble, and yeah, get the ball rolling. So stay tuned for that. If you have any questions or you actually have any ideas, let's say you're in the middle of building a drawer system yourself, and you thought of a really good idea and you just don't want to do it, let me know. I'm happy to include it, whether it's a modular system like what I'm thinking, like your own modular. Like it's like I'm really into, like, I don't know, professional table tennis, and I need a cool place to hang my racks. It'd be super cool, right? Have a little custom rack holder back there. Whatever it is, just let me know what you guys want to see. If you guys want to see any changes, or you guys want me to just design something, and I can just straight up be like, yeah, that didn't work. Dumb idea. Next. Let me know. Feel free to follow me on Instagram. Yell at me in the comments, whatever you want to do. But yeah, guys, that's it. Till next week. Back to making weekly videos, hopefully. Next week, we'll have a fun one. So stay tuned. But for now, I'm signing off, guys. So make sure to do all the stuff that YouTubers ask you to do. Like, subscribe, comment, send me your social security number, whatever it is. Go ahead and do it. See you guys later. Peace. Now I'm going to turn off the camera. I wish I had it like a